Good morning. It is Tuesday, September 4th. Yep, September 4th, 2018. And it is 68 degrees outside. It's kind of chilly. But, well, I can't really say it's chilly because it's not really chilly. It's just not as humid. But to me, it's beautiful out, so I'm going to take it. First day back to work since Friday. Had that long Labor Day weekend, so kind of sad that I have to go back to work. But was a very productive, very great weekend. I did not go to the gym, but I finished the wreath. I got a bunch of t-shirts done. I did some more cleaning. I got all of my receipts and all my bookkeeping done. So it was a very, very productive weekend. See, I even made this t-shirt because I'm going to the gym today. I love squats. So yeah, this is an extra big t-shirt. I should have used a extra large instead of a 2X, but it's okay. It's good for the gym. What else? So not much else is going on. Son is doing okay in high school, in college. You know, not much else. Trying to find a second job so that way I can get caught up on stuff, but isn't as easy as everybody complains about. So this is what I want to talk about. So in the news, you constantly hear about how, especially here in Maine, I don't know about anywhere else, but here in Maine, how there's a labor shortage. And how, you know, it's like one particular, a very famous summer restaurant closed a week early because they didn't have enough employees. Once all of the college kids and the high school kids went back to school, they didn't have enough employees to run the business. And so let me just enlighten everybody on how this works. So when a business has a job opening, they post that job opening. And now they have an idea of what they're willing to pay hourly and what they're willing to pay for benefits and compensation and all of that, based on what they want for a profit. Now, there are millions of people without jobs, okay? So if an employer is having a hard time finding an employee, it's because of how they're selecting these employees. So let me just explain. Now this is a restaurant, so it's basically waitressing. It's basically busting and dishes and cooking and that type of stuff that they would need to find employees for. So you're telling me in one of the states with the highest welfare rates, you can't find any employees? No. The problem is you're not willing to compensate people for that. So as a waitress, you don't make very much money to begin with, unless the tips are there. And I am assuming in that type of an industry, the reason why you're hiring high school and college students is because the income isn't very high. And so the amount of money that they need to be able to live is very minimal. So based on that, you're going to only be able to use high school and college students. If you want to stay in business beyond that, then there's something that you have to do, and it's called raise your rates. Because a single mother can't afford to live off of a high school person's income. A single person can't live off of a high school student's income. So you can't cry, I'm shutting down because of labor shortage. There's no labor shortage. There's no labor shortage. That's like saying there's sun shortage because the sun goes away after, you know, when it sunsets, it's shortage. There's no such thing. There's plenty of people who need jobs and who are actively looking for employment. You're just not hiring them because you're not paying enough. So you're not hiring them. Like for me, I'm looking for employment. So this is the stipulation. I already work a full-time job. So in order for me to do an interview, I have to do an interview after 4 p.m. A lot of places do not want to do an interview after 4 p.m. They want to do an interview between the hours of 8 and 3. Well, I'm sorry, I can't. So obviously you don't want me for an employee. So that means you're narrowing your employer search, your labor search, because you're limiting certain things. You're putting restrictions on that. So criminal records. If you're telling people with criminal records they're not able to work at your establishment, you're narrowing your search. Now, I understand certain industries narrowing that, you know, excluding certain criminal records. Obviously, a pharmacy doesn't want to hire a drug dealer. Obviously, a bank doesn't want to hire an embezzler. Obviously, a grocery store doesn't want to hire a thief. I understand all of that, and rightfully so. But what does a drug dealer have to do with being a bagger? What? Why can't they bag? Are you afraid they're going to sell your bags? You know, what does an embezzler have to do with being a customer service representative? And not taking credit card payments or anything over the phone, but answering questions. What does that have to do with anything? Are you afraid they're going to swindle these people out of, you know, their emails? I mean, just realistically, so you completely knock off everybody who has a criminal record, period, because you don't want to take the time to find out what this individual has to offer? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. You have no idea. And this is what's the problem with our society, is we continue to punish people after they've served their time. So if I go to jail for, I don't know, if I go to jail for writing bad checks, I don't even know, hearing me is negotiating a worthless instrument. That's what it's considered. So if I go to jail for writing a bad check for 2 years, I get out, the courts say I'm all done, I've served my time, I've done to the society, I've done accordingly. Who the hell is anybody to continue to punish me by preventing me from having a checking account, by preventing me from having a housing, by preventing me from having employment, by any of that? Why would you do that? I've served my sentence. I've done my time according to the judicial system, which we have voted into place. We've entrusted this branch of our government to, it's supposed to be reform, but then we continue to punish them. So how are they reforming? Okay, so let's get off that topic and let's go back to short labor market. It's crock shit. Just like the unemployment rate is low. Well, you can't have both. You can't have a low unemployment rate but a shortage of labor people. Well, I guess you could, because that means they're working, so I guess you can. So, but the low employment rate realistically just means that those people have, what's the word I'm looking for? Have used up all of their unemployment. They've maxed out. It doesn't mean that they're not collecting anymore because they found employment. It just means that they've used all of their benefits, because there's no longer extensions that were in place from when Bush and Clinton were in play. So that just means there's no more extensions, so they're not being able to extend it beyond what their benefits pay out. So what do you mean? Like, I think Obama had it as well in the very beginning. So what do you mean? Like, no, just because unemployment rate is low does not mean all these people are going to work, because welfare is up. So it doesn't add up. So I know, as me looking for employment, there have been two places. So one place I didn't go to, I was supposed to go last week and I didn't go, and that was my fault. I had a doctor's appointment. It was more important than going to that. I tried to reach out to them, but I didn't have a local number. They called me when I was 5 minutes late. And by then I was already in the doctor's office. It was too late. Whatever, it is what it is. Too bad for them. This other place scheduled an appointment on Labor Day, which I was excited and ready to go, but then they called me to tell me, oh, well, we have to reschedule. Well, your time to only schedule an interview with me is between 8 and 3. If that's all you can schedule an interview for, then I guess you don't want me as an employee, because I work a full-time job. And I'm not taking time off of my full-time job to go look for a part-time job. That's just stupid. Just stupid. Doesn't make any sense. I'm looking for additional income. Why would I screw up my first income? So those are just things that, you know, corporate America got so used to that now they just feel that's the norm. And I know many people who are without jobs who would love to work at that restaurant, but that restaurant doesn't pay enough, so therefore they can't do that job. You know, or it's only a seasonal job, so realistically, what family person who is here, you know, who needs a job for supplemental income is going to be able to work at a seasonal location? None. You know, they can't work 6 weeks out of the year. You're open for high school and college students. That's what you're open for. So you can't complain when they go home. You're paying for that, and that's what you're open for. If you want to be open for, you know, people who are going to be there on the long haul for a long period of time, then you need to be open for a long period of time. You can't offer seasonal help to people who are looking for supplemental income or income, period. If you're only going to be seasonal, then you should expect seasonal employees. It's that simple. It's that simple. So, you know, that's just what's going on here in little old Maine. And we have lots of those, you know, like farmers are complaining that they're short-handed. Well, they are. You know, normally they would hire individuals from other countries and give them working visas, and those have been limited by the Trump administration. So, you know, so now those traditional roles going to, you know, working visas are limited. But at the same time, you can't complain of a labor shortage because you're restricting that your labor pool on your own. It's not like the pool is small to begin with. You're restricting that pool based on what you're willing to pay and willing to do for your labor. It's just as simple as that. So it's your own fault that you have a labor shortage. It's nobody else's fault. It's not really a labor shortage. It's just your pool is small because of your restrictions. It has nothing to do with the actual pool of employees available. None. None. So you know what I say, the best investment you can make is an investment in you. What are you investing in you today? I am going to the gym after work. I have some stuff to do before work, like go to the grocery store to get some apple cider vinegar and some frozen, I didn't take my debit card. I can go back. Oh yes, it's in my pocket. Oh, I'm smart. So I gotta go do those errands before the gym, but it's right next door. So as soon as I'm done there, I'm gonna run over to the gym. I'm gonna do some gymmage, and then I am gonna go home and relax and make. I finished the wreath. I did all that stuff this weekend, so that I just have to put finishing touches on so I can put it together and assemble it so James can take it to work on Friday. But that's it, really. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I have hiccups and burps, so excuse me. And I will check in with you tomorrow. Bye-bye.